Hey there, Jake Dempsey, CEO and co-founder of Project Broadcast. In this video, we're going to talk about double opt-in. Now, you've already learned through our previous video on consent that no matter what, consent is mandatory. And by consent, what we mean is permission. You must get permission from your recipients in order to send them text messages. Now, there's multiple ways to capture consent depending on how you manage your business. And you may be capturing consent in your POS system or on a web form, or maybe you're capturing it manually on a clipboard because you attend events. There's various ways to capture consent. What's important is that you do get consent. And when you get consent, it's also important that you maintain that consent. Now, some businesses have made the decision that they'd rather not maintain consent and capture consent on their own. Project Broadcast provides a feature called Double Opt In that allows you to capture consent in platform, meaning through Project Broadcast. And that consent is stored in the Project Broadcast system so that if you ever need to show that someone has opted into your messaging explicitly, you'll have a record of that in Project Broadcast. Now, not every business requires double opt in, and Project Broadcast doesn't require double opt in as a way to use the Project Broadcast system, but it is a feature that you can enable if you want the highest level of compliance in terms of consent and capturing consent and maintaining it for your business. Let's pop over to Project Broadcast and take a look at how you can enable the double opt in feature and exactly what does it do. So in our Project Broadcast platform, I've got this test contact. And by default, I can send a message to this contact. Nothing prevents me from sending a message to this contact. By signing up for Project Broadcast, you adhere to the terms of service and acceptable use policy that you've already captured consent, and you're maintaining consent for your contacts. So it doesn't prevent me from sending messages to this test contact. However, if I go enable the double opt-in feature, which I can click on my account area, go to the settings in the double opt-in area and enable double opt-in. I'll show you what this automated double opt-in message does in a moment, but I'm just going to enable double opt-in. I'm going to go back to that conversation with that test contact and try to send a message now to that test contact. Notice how when I try to send a message, I get an error at the bottom of my screen that says this contact is not double opted in. I created this contact manually, and then I didn't ask their permission in platform to send them text messages. Now, if I craft a message, now remember, I'm doing this in the chat area, but this applies no matter where you're creating content, keywords, campaigns, schedule broadcast, it doesn't matter. If you want to send a message to a non-opted in contact, the only way you can do that is by including a link for them to opt in to receive messaging. So I'm just going to use the chat area again as the example. Now, you may do this as a part of a scheduled message to a group of people or as a part of a campaign. I'm just doing it in chat just because it's simple to show the feature. So here I could say, hey there, I want to be able to send you messages. Please provide consent here. And I'm just going to go insert a dynamic field. And on the contact, there's two double opt-in dynamic fields. One is just the link. That's the one I'm going to use because I want to craft my own message to the contact. Now, if I want to use a pre-built message that is controlled by Project Broadcast, you can use that message as well. You cannot modify it, but that approach doesn't cost you any credits either. I'm just going to insert the double opt-in link because I want to be able to control the kind of the content of the messaging. This message will be allowed to be sent to this contact because it includes a link for them to opt in. Now I'm going to take a moment and click this link. I just want you to see what the recipient's going to see when they click your link. So I'm going to click the link, and it'll take me just a moment to switch over and share that screen. Okay, when you click that link, if I was the recipient of the message, I'm just showing you what the person would see. It tells them, hey, Jake Dempsey wants to send you messages. If you click accept, you're agreeing to accept messages. Message and data rates may apply. Some of the messages may be promotional in nature. When the contact clicks that link and then clicks accept, we store that in the project broadcast system, and it tells them thank you for opting in. And they can optionally fill out information below to kind of update their contact info in my system. Now that they've clicked accept, Project Broadcast has captured that you sent them a double opt in message. They clicked accept, and it also has sent them a follow up confirmation message letting them know they clicked the link and have accepted. So let me pop back over now to Project Broadcast and we can see what the chat looks like. Okay, so here we are back in Project Broadcast, and you can see this is that message that I created to send to my contact. I clicked the link. Now, again, your contact is going to click the link, but I clicked it just so you could see what they would see. And the contact clicked accept. And when the contact clicked accept, the system automatically sent them a follow up confirmation message, letting them know that they've accepted to receive messages from you and that message and data rates may apply and they can reply stop to unsubscribe. They are now double opted into my system. I've asked them to opt in. They've accepted by clicking the form and clicking accept. And then in the follow up message, we give them another opportunity to reply stop if they didn't want to receive messages from you. But now that they have double opted in, I should be able to send them any message I want and that message go through the system because they have double opted into receiving my messages. Now, there's one additional feature I want to show you on double opt-in that we didn't turn on. And to do that, I'm going to actually delete this contact because I want you to see what happens when that feature is enabled. So let me go delete this contact. So we should see that the contact is gone. I'm going to go back into the double opt-in feature, and I'm going to enable the double opt-in message. What this feature does is when I receive a new incoming message from a contact that wasn't in my Project Broadcast account, the system will automatically respond with a message for them to opt in. So let's see that in action. I just sent a test message to this Project Broadcast account, and I'll click refresh so we can see it. Here's that message. And you'll notice as soon as that message came in, the system automatically replied with, hey, Jake Dempsey would like to send you messages. Here's that link that they can click and accept. And if they were to go accept that message, they would get the confirmation. So let me do that. I'm going to click on that from my phone. I'm going to click accept. And as soon as I click accept, what we should see is the Project Broadcast system send the confirmation follow-up message. And it did. It just sent the confirmation follow-up. So now this person is fully opted in, and I should be able to send them a message. So again, double opt-in isn't required by all users, but for some businesses, they want this level of compliance. And what they're really saying is, hey, Project Broadcast, I want you to protect me from sending messages from any contact that hasn't explicitly opted into receiving my messages. And the way you do that is by enabling the double opt-in feature. And if you want the automatic response on a new message, you can enable that secondary feature as well. And both of these together basically creates the highest level of consent compliance you can have, ensuring that no messages leave the Project Broadcast system to contacts that have not opted in. Now, let's say you've got an existing business relationship with a list of contacts and you still want to use the double opt-in feature. Well, like I said, you can use this anywhere in Project Broadcast. So like if I'm in the schedule area, I can come craft a message here. Of course, your message will be much more better than mine. And you can include a dynamic field, include that opt-in link, and now send this message to as many contacts as you want. So let's pretend I've got an existing business relationship with 500 contacts in the last 6 months. Let's just pretend that's kind of my business. I can import those contacts into Project Broadcast, and I'd probably obviously write this better and say, hey there, and I would insert a dynamic field, which would be their first name. And I would say, I would love to be able to communicate with you via my business texting number. If you don't mind, please provide permission for me to send you text messages here. And I would give them that link. And I would add my 500 contacts and I would send this message. So it's going to be, hey there, Sally. Hey there, Billy. Hey there, Jill. I'd love to be able to send you or communicate with you via my business texting number. If you don't mind, please provide permission for me to send you text messages here, and they can click the double opt-in link. So let's say you sent that out to 500 people. And for argument's sake, let's say 200 people clicked the link and accepted. Well, later, if you tried to craft a message to those 500 people, the 300 that did not opt in would just fail. And it would say, contact is not double opted in. And the 200 that did opt in, it would go out to them because they have completed the consent process. And like I said before, double opt-in isn't for everyone. It's really the decision kind of on should you have double opt-in or not is really about your level of compliance need. Some businesses require a very high level of compliance, and they want to ensure it's impossible for someone to get a message from the system who has not explicitly opted in through the platform. If that's you, then you want to enable the double opt-in feature. There's also a much more detailed training on double opt-in at training.projectbroadcast.com. So make sure if you require double opt-in, go to the training.projectbroadcast.com website, create a free training account, and check out that double opt-in training to get even more detail about how the double opt-in feature works.